Individual employees within the company require different levels of information in order to do their job. It is the granularity of the information that would define the different levels of security clearance. Employees would be divided into basic security clearance, second level clearance, third level clearance, and high level clearance. We would use the floor plan to make this distinction between clearance levels. The color-coded sections display these different levels. Only employees authorized are allowed within their designated area unless accompanied by a security officer. Visitors to the facility must wear a visitor badge at all times, be accompanied by a security officer, and are only permitted within the basic security clearance area. It is the recommendation of ASME Consulting that Positive Charge Labs implement biometric security methods to gain access into the different areas. Biometric security systems are automated methods of verifying or recognizing the identity of the living person. There are two different classifications of biometric technologies: behavioral characteristics such as voice recognition and physiological characteristics, which include fingerprint scanning and retina scanning. The characteristics of human speech do not change over time. This makes voice recognition to secure safeguard into the basic security level. Voice recognition techniques are typically subdivided into two different categories. For the purpose of this contract, it would only be necessary to implement the automated speaker identification. This system recognizes an individual based on unique traits within their voice and matches it to the voice sample within the database to grant access. A small microphone panel would be installed next to the door where the employees would say their name, which ultimately unlocks the door to gain access. It is the recommendation of ASME Consulting to implement voice recognition as the primary source of security to gain entry into the basic security sections. The fingerprint scanning system works by examining the unique characteristics of a person's fingerprint and then comparing and matching the print to one stored in a database. A single person's fingerprint contains, on average, 40 unique traits referred to as muniti. The FBI considers these scans to be the error-free, since no two people share more than 8 commonalities within their unique fingerprints. It is the low false acceptance rate and false rejection rates that make this option extremely viable for Positive Charge Labs. A small print scanning device would be attached to the wall beside where the employees would place their finger to unlock the door. The fingerprint scanning technology would be used to gain access to the second level clearance areas. The retina scanning system observes the level of blood vessels located at the back of the eye, and it matches it to the existing sample scan contained in the database. Every eye has its own unique pattern of blood vessels, which makes this form of security difficult to deceive. This type of biometric security is used in other high-security buildings, such as nuclear research facilities. This proves that the reliability of retinal scanning systems for safeguarding and vital information at Positive Charge Labs. A medium-sized panel would be attached to the wall where the employees line up their eye with the scanner to verify their identity. It is the recommendation of ASME Consulting to implement the retinal scanning system to gain access to the third level clearance. The combination of voice recognition, fingerprint scanning, and retinal scanning to gain access to the highest level of clearance areas would be the best way to safeguard the information. It would be near impossible to fool all 3 biometric systems, making this recommendation most secure for Positive Charge Labs. The employee would enter their credentials at the door, and the database would recognize that they have the proper grant to access high-level security. The main concern with installing the biometric security measures is where to save the database of scans. Other companies have been successful with entrusting the scan database to their security office. The reason for this is that only security employees may gain access to the office, and there's always an employee in the office monitoring the cameras. This allows for 24-hour monitoring of database as well as surveillance cameras. The implementation of biometric security system will roughly cost $50,000 to establish a database of scans, $600 per door for the fingerprint scans, $1,000 per door for the voice recognition panels, and $2,200 for the door for the retinal scanning stations. With the added biometric security measures being implemented, additional security employees would be required to provide constant monitoring of the security camera footage. 24-hour observation of the facility's surveillance cameras would ensure that any suspicious activity can be noticed and investigated as soon as it occurs. The addition of employees would give positive charge jobs the ability to make their security presence known. Some would monitor the cameras, while others would be posted at visitor and employee entrance desks to keep an eye on who is entering and exiting the lab. Ask Me Consulting has realized the possibility of one employee allowing others to enter once they have opened the door with their biometric credentials. It is for this reason that there must be a security employee monitoring the door traffic via the surveillance cameras at all times to ensure this dilemma is avoided. While human error is a possibility in security industry, it's a belief of Ask Me Consulting that with the combination of biometric security measures and additional employees, these potential errors would essentially be eliminated.